Welcome to our channel, and if you are new, thank you for joining us. And this is actually a continuation of another video we recently uploaded called The History of the Ukulele. And you might be asking yourself, well, Dennis, how does this history of the ukulele tie into a travel channel that you're doing? Well, of course, if you've ever been on a trip and you travel, you definitely take in the culture and you definitely take in the history. And so that's what we're doing here, because Min and I have spent a lot of time in recent years between Hawaii and Portugal, and in particular the island of Madeira. And many people that live on these islands don't realize the strong connection that they have with each other, especially when it comes to the ukulele and how it originated from the island of Madeira. And so we're going to get into that in this video. I know it's a long one, but you're going to love it. It's going to be worth every moment watching. I can assure you that. We have some great live music featuring these incredible professors of music from Madeira, but they're also going to talk about their interpretation of the evolution of the ukulele from their Madeiran guitars called the machete and the rajau. And we're also going to hear from Shawn Yacavone, an educator, and he also is a co-chair to the Hawaii Music Archive, which is an offshoot of the Hawaii State Archives. And also he is involved with the Ukulele Museum Initiative. So he's going to explain all of that, and it's going to be fascinating once it gets opened up, but he's going to share more details on that for you. You might be asking, who is this video geared for? Well, if you are an ukulele geek, this is for you. We're going to get into hearing from these gentlemen from Madeira and Shawn Yacavone the details of the transformation of the ukulele. So the luthier, the making of these instruments, and also the tuning and how that changed. And for those of you that have a fascination with vintage and rare ukuleles, oh my gosh, Shawn Yacavone is going to share with you very soon his personal collection, which is going to blow you away. So stay tuned, and thanks for watching. We are Dennis and Min. Come join us on our traveling adventures around the world. So if you appreciate rare and vintage ukuleles, let me introduce to you right now Mr. Shawn Yacavone from Honolulu. And Shawn was gracious enough to invite myself and a couple of members of my Beatles tribute band on ukulele called Beat-lele to his Ukulele Friend retail store.
I love beat-lele.
Oh my gosh, I had no idea he was going to say that. I can assure you we did not pay him anything to say that. And in fact, we're going to stick right to this important content, and we are not going to distract ourselves with shameful self-promotion of beat-lele in any way, shape, or form. So getting back to Shawn Yacavone, he is also associated with the Hawaii Music Archives. He's the co-chair and is also working with the Ukulele Museum Initiative to help foster and bring forth a greater appreciation of the ukulele's history and its culture. So stay tuned for that right now.
Because to me, ukulele is not, it doesn't belong to a singular culture. It belongs to a community of people that were here in the late 1800s that basically had that instrument come to be. The evolution, as it may be, from machete to ukulele is a fascinating one. And I have some of the first generation ukuleles here, so we can take a look at some of those. Part of the project that I'm working on is recording and playing these historical instruments. So I have been flying around the world repatriating ukuleles to bring them back to Hawaii for a project that we're working on called the Hawaiian Music Archives. It's at the Hawaii State Archives. And we just, Dr. Jansen, who's the director there, and his staff, they just wrapped up and finished a, what do you call that? We have a sound booth. So now we have a sound booth where people can call down a historical instrument and play it. One of our partners is Mimo from Aquila Strings. And Mimo basically is giving, has partnered with us to provide genuine gut strings as these instruments would have been tuned in the late 1800s, basically pre-46, 1946. Anything before then would really have been using gut strings. And so we lace all of those historical instruments with genuine gut. And anything from 47 to more modern times, there's a period in which we use nylon strings and then of course now more contemporary strings like fluorocarbon and Nile gut and things of that sort. But there are about 300 ukulele or so that are available at the Hawaii State Archives. It's called the Hawaiian Music Archives. A treasure trove of Martins in particular, including the vintage Martin 5K, from the 1920s, mid to late 20s. That is all quote full
Still
show
in good
inlay,
shape.
all playable. Yeah. And so these are available to the community for public access and research. Part of what we're doing is trying to advance education and awareness on the ukulele, the history of the ukulele, but not only the builders, because the beautiful story of the ukulele, as we all know, is not, it's not just about the first three original makers. It's about so many other people along the way, the manufacturers, the retailers, the musicians, the instructors, and all of those stories in between. And so for us, I feel that we have a kuleana, right? We have a responsibility. And as I'm learning, I'm taking some Hawaiian this semester, but as I'm learning, kuleana also means privilege. And I thought to myself, oh, how beautiful is that? Because it is a responsibility, but at the same time, it is an honor. We are partnering with local or state government to be able to explore some possibilities to continue to move this forward for our community so that we can honor our kupuna and the stories, all of the stories that have come, of course the builders, but all the stories. Whether you were a retailer or a musician or whatnot, we should be honoring all of those stories. And all of that is going into the Hawaiian Music Archive. So down there we have tens of thousands of sheet music. It's kind of cool to look back at the sheet music because it even shows you how they strum. Hold this way and strum this way. Yeah. They even tell you, the methodology books, instructional books are quite fascinating. Now we are still cataloging and indexing things to make it available for the public, and then we will launch that, and then people can go in. It's free. It's not like a museum. Wow. The beautiful thing about this is it's owned by the people of Hawaii. Wow. It is not owned by any singular individual. It belongs to the community. And so people have been pouring into this from around the world. People have been donating. So we're creating, for example, a string research library, historical strings, contemporary strings. The story of the ukulele, as you know, is not over. It continues to be told. So we're partnering with even contemporary builders now. Enya Music has donated to Escala, Mike Upton, and amazing things they're doing there, as well as Chuck Moore has donated custom instruments, Manny Hallican, Pahukani ukuleles, Kamaka Kanilea Koloha, right? All partners in moving this forward as a community. And once again, the beautiful thing is long after we are gone, that we will know that all of this resides and will continue for educational and research purposes to perpetuate the culture of Hawaiian music and the ukulele. It will stay with Hawaii and long after we're gone. As it should. Mm-hmm. And that's why I'm flying all over the place trying to do my part to make sure that we're not only spreading awareness about this project, but we're inviting in potential partners. By the way, this also includes native digital material. So everything that you see online, recordings, posts, concerts, ukulele festivals, we want all of that. And so if there's anything that tugs at your heartstrings or you have around and you want to donate to the music archives, we can certainly make that a reality. We need to ensure that the research and understanding of what's happening today or what has happened even one or two generations before us, we can perpetuate that understanding where people can go in and say what molds were, what technologies were available, what was the shape, what are the thicknesses, all of those things. And that way we can perpetuate a culture on the building side, composition, music, and a reflection of self-identity of who we are as a community of people.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, and so that's really the in a snapshot, that's really what we're doing. I love beat-lele, and I listen to some of the music that you guys have played. But I also love the fact that what you do and the music that you play is beautiful, playing Beatles music on ukulele. But the composition of your band is the ukulele.
Right.
The ethnic diversity is the ukulele. And I thought, how cool is that? But that is a snapshot of what's happening around the world with ukulele, because so many people are playing ukulele from around the world. And some people, of course, don't even play Hawaiian music, which is fine, folk music or whatever it might be. And my dad is a huge Beatles fan.
Nice.
And he knows what I do in ukulele, and so to be able to kind of bring those two worlds together and watch has been kind of cool. For an extra frets here, this would have been more of a musician's instrument with extra frets, but this one in particular would have been a grade above that, because most musicians wouldn't chase after all the shell inlay. It goes up to 17, I think. Yeah. And then they shell inlaid the face and the back of this instrument. This was this competed with the Martin 5K of that. So here's a machete.
Oh my goodness, pocket ukulele.
Yeah.
Look at this, Ami.
That's a machete.
Oh, this is a machete.
Yeah, so this would have been
That
tuned
is so cute.
DGBD tuning.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
DGBD.
DGBD. Yeah. And this is the other parent instrument to the ukulele, rajao. This is the ukulele tuning. GCEA comes from these 4 strings. GCEA. And then this is a D. D, G, C, E, A.
Also 5 strings.
Yeah, but these are the 2 parent instruments to the ukulele.
So how to play the chord is different from
Oh yeah, yeah, DGBD tuning, and then I learned that there's another tuning, DGBE, which is, it's an octave higher, but it would be most common is DGBD tuning in this instrument. Yeah, and so these 2 instruments are considered the parent instruments to the ukulele.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
so ukulele tuning comes from here, size comes from here. Of course, there was a whole bunch of influence on the early ukulele evolution, including business influence, political influence, geographical influence, all of these things that help shape the ukulele that we have.
It's a 5-string then, huh?
Yeah, but it's GCEA, first 4 strings, ukulele tuning, reentrant, high G.
Okay.
And then D.
Oh wow. Okay.
D, G, C.
GCEA.
Yeah, D, G, C, E, A.
And this is the machete.
That's the machete. This is our rajao.
Zhao.
Hajao.
Hajao.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
wow.
yeah.
What is that called again?
Here's
Machentino,
one for you, Ami.
right? Here, you can see it right here with the case.
Yeah, but
So-
until you hold it, it's not going to show
Yeah,
the
there.
size.
Put your
of
hand
it.
next to it. There you go. So and we know this instrument actually was not made for children. It was actually a played instrument,
Wow.
and you can see how small. This is a new instrument.
Yeah.
Newer. Right? So you can,
Sorry.
and so then we have in Hawaii
Can't even
we have
put
a
my
soprano.
fingers in it.
Right. So we have our baritone, concert alto, soprano. And in the early turn of the century, 20th century, we had a sopranino. This is the sopranino, made in Hawaii.
Oh my god.
So the tradition of that
Fingers are
instrument
too
came
big
to
for
Hawaii.
this.
Yeah,
Is that? That's even smaller than this.
it's the same, 14 inches. Yeah.
Okay. But it can't put my fingers in it. It doesn't fit. I mean, cannot play this. It's for
Years were these made?
This is made around early 1900s. This one, yeah.
Ooh, classic.
Yeah, and you can see that even the rosette, as a
That's
maker,
older than
they
everybody
sized
here.
it.
yeah.
Wow.
Back then, but people were small, you
But
know,
look
and
at the-
small fingers, right?
This is a couple of telltale things of the of the Madeiran instruments is they tend to be more flat.
Okay.
So if you look at this instrument, they're more flat, very
Yeah.
little curvature, and they frequently, not always, but they have an extended fingerboard. You have more skilled players at that time, right? They tend to have bridge pins. This is very common. It's for a sash
Okay.
over the shoulder,
Okay.
and it would typically have one here and to attach that. But construction-wise, tighter waist, longer body, more flat. This is more like what we see happening to the ukulele. See how arch that is,
Yeah.
and arch this way.
Yeah.
The depth and thickness is totally different, but the tradition is the same.
When did you say this small one?
This one was made in the early 1900s, but
Early
it's a
1900s.
Madeiran tradition adapted into Hawaii instrument making. So this is the machintinho, came from the machete. Then you have the soprano ukulele, and this is the sopranino. Yeah. So the tradition of that smaller scale downsized instrument. And now they made this in a few sizes, most commonly 16 inches total length. This is 14.
Okay.
So it's a bit smaller than what's usually found out there. And even the ones that are 16 inches that are found out there are not common.
5 strings.
The Renaissance guitar is 8 strings,
Okay.
most frequently, but they typically use it's 8 tuners or sometimes typically 8, but they usually use 7 strings.
Okay.
And in Europe they would keep the bottom string, the melody string would be 1 instead of 2 strings, even though there's 2 tuners.
Okay. I got you.
Because that's the melody and everybody's picking on that.
Okay.
But that tuning, the origins of that of this tuning, the D G C A tuning.
The other ones were double courses on those Renaissance.
They are the Renaissance guitar is tuned. The C, E, and A are tuned in parallels.
Okay. Okay.
The G is octave,
Octave. Okay.
which is interesting, right? So
Right.
it's in high and low G. So what's interesting is the original
You gotta know how to
tuning
play it.
of the ukulele is reentrant or high G G C E A. But if you look at the parent instruments, it's also reentrant. This is a reentrant tuning. But if you look earlier than that, there is a low and high G in the
okay.
Renaissance guitar. That's not an ukulele, but the tunings are fascinating. To kind of look back at. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Spruce,
Beautiful.
Brazilian rosewood. Yeah. This is from the 20s as well. Yeah. And all the inlay work on this is pretty remarkable, and they custom
That
piece
is
too. Yeah.
beautiful. My goodness.
Don't tune that one up.
Yeah,
though.
that's like a.
Those instruments sound great after we get
Yeah.
mixed.
So you're gonna have them worked on the mainland?
Yeah,
At Portland?
there's a few. Well, there's a few people that I work with on the mainland that do restoration, and they are subcontracted with music. Martin employees, after working there for a number of years, and they would retire, the company allowed them an opportunity to build an instrument for themselves. And so
What a
they,
privilege.
yeah, and so these, I have 2 of them, one in mahogany and one in koa, but. It's kind of neat to look at these instruments, especially have them together, because they likely would have been friends at the shop. Cases.
Keyhole too.
Oh, it's played, yeah. Look at how it's played.
Played
Yeah.
because it's
up
a
there.
total flesh wear,
Right.
no picks.
Right.
You can see the wear here.
My goodness.
And look at the koa on this.
Wow.
This is from 1885.
Whoa.
Yeah,
That's what's.
front end of the.
Precious.
That was somebody's life. They played that thing like.
Yeah.
Wow.
These are gut strings.
Got string.
Yeah.
What kind of
some of those materials that were being used for the furniture making trade that they, some of them work at as well.
Oh, pretty. Oh, and that's some old ukulele right there.
Yeah, that's a Hawaiian Kingdom era ukulele from 1890.
So we hope you appreciate this content so far. We still have lots more to come. And also just wanted to take this time to ask you, if you haven't done so already, to please subscribe to our channel. That really helps us to grow and reach others out there. And if you leave us a comment, we will be certain to respond. And if you know anybody else that loves knowing about the ukulele, playing the ukulele, please feel free to share this video with them. Now we're going to take you right back to the University of Hawaii, where Shawn Yacavone was giving a lecture, and that also featured our 2 friends from Madeira, Roberto Moniz and Roberto Moritz. And they gave a little performance, but we have a lot more coming later in this video where I sat down with them 1-on-2 in their studio in Madeira.
This is a Madeiran machete made in Madeira, right? And so this is a hardwood back, a softwood top. Notice that it does have an extended fingerboard, the frets that go all the way down to the sun. Something very unique to the Madeiran instruments, as well as the construction was flat backs. You will see things like inlay, especially down here in the slash inlay of flower, and what they call overlay. And so, and this instrument is tuned D-G-B-D. There's two tunings to that, but D-G-B-D and the D-G-B-E tuning on this particular instrument. The Madeiran, and this is known as the father instrument to the ukulele. The Madeiran Rajao is where we adopt the modern ukulele tuning, the GCEA tuning. As you can see, there's only 4 strings on this instrument, but there's actually 5 pegs. And this instrument is actually made in Hawaii. This is a Hawaiian Kingdom era Portuguese instrument made in Hawaii, right? And so this is a Hawaiian Kingdom era instrument by Manio Nunes. The reason I removed the 5th string is because there are old photos. As a matter of fact, Dr. Johnson here from the Hawaii State Archives and the collection there are old photos in which you can see that the top string is missing, which would indicate that people were playing this instrument like a tenor-sized ukulele, even in the late 1800s, right? So one of the questions we have to ask ourselves is, when does a ukulele become a ukulele, and when does it stop becoming, when does it stop being a machete, and when does it become a ukulele? And but that's what this instrument is here. The 3rd instrument, this is a Hawaiian Kingdom era ukulele. This is from about 1890s. This is the front end of ukuleles that were being made here in Hawaii. Notice the similarities to the father instrument, extended fingerboard, and you have the frets all the way down to the soundhole bridge pins. This has a hardwood top. There are a few models before this that have softwood tops that would be more consistent with what you see here. And of course, this is tuned GCEA tuning.
Hey everybody, we are in Madeira meeting with 2 wonderful gentlemen who play some incredible music, but also are teachers here at the Music Conservatory in Funchal. And so I'd like to introduce you to Roberto Moritz and Roberto Moniz here. And gentlemen, if you can just share what you do, what your work involves here at the conservatory as teaching, what you teach, how long you've been doing it.
Yeah, well, I'm Roberto Moritz. Mm-hmm. I'm a teacher at the conservatory, just like you said. Mm-hmm. I'm doing this teaching for around 26 years ago. I started to teach at schools and then now at the conservatory. Yeah. Roberto.
I'm Roberto Moniz. I'm also a teacher in conservatory. Do the same like Roberto, and I start teaching chordophones in 1989.
Wow.
35 years old. I like this. I like the work I do. I'm happy.
Awesome. And so we are here in like their studio. I love it here. And so this is known as Xarabanda. And so if one of you can explain what Xarabanda is and its history and why it's important.
Yeah, Xarabanda, mm-hmm. Yeah, with an X.
Yes,
yeah?
yes.
Xarabanda, it's a dance, Spanish dance.
Spanish dance, okay,
yeah.
Yes.
Xarabanda, it's an association that has been working on music traditional cultural recovering in Madeira, only in Madeira. Yeah, we arrange field recordings and music field recordings, and we arrange that music to our taste, just like we like to do that music, so so that they don't get lost. So yeah, Xarabanda is it's an association with 45 years old. So
And the name it's a mix with banda is band and shara come from the name one of our genres, musical genres, charamba. It's playing with a viola da rame or rajão and berguinho and violin, other instruments, but the most popular is viola da rame, and it's an improvisation in melodies that viola da rame does when they make the accompaniment, and the text is invented in the
it's
improvised
at the time.
At the time.
I see.
2 or more persons singing all night long.
Well, it's a serious thing.
Yeah.
Just like fado. Yeah.
Yes,
But the charamba, just like Roberto was saying, it's improvised inside. Mainly, it happens inside the house, in the house of people. They used to play and sing about anything, about life, about building a house, about the fields, how to prepare the fields for the plantation, everything.
Right.
Yeah. The instruments that we used to play here was the machete, yeah, a 4-string with a D, B, G, D tuning, so an open G chords, 4-string small guitar, and also the rajão.
Yeah.
With a tuning that it's.
The
I think you will know this tuning: A, E, D, G, D. So this is what the instrument that was played in Madeira in the 19th century, and not only in the 19th but before also. So and until today. So these were the instruments that Madeira took to Hawaii. So you can see a tuning that you know for the ukulele and the size that's your.
So it was kind of a hybrid of those
Yeah,
two.
maybe. Yeah. So they started to build these instruments just like they are. They used to build in Madeira, and then they change a little bit to what we know. It's the ukulele.
Yes,
Today.
and of course they didn't have the same type of wood there like
No.
they do here in
But-
Canada.
but
so
you
they
know-
use the koa.
You know, the rajão the Portuguese took to Hawaii don't have only 4 strings but 5 strings like this one, and 5 tuners,
Pegs.
pegs to tune, and 5 ways to put the strings. I don't know why some rajão in Hawaii have only 4 strings.
Well,
Or-
in Madeira, there were also some places that
Yeah.
they used to play with only 4 strings.
Okay.
So it's not quite new in Madeira.
When I begin start rajão at home, my rajão have only 4 strings. This one is off. It's broken. Maybe the rajão, the musicians went to Hawaii, took with them. Maybe it's only 4 strings, and arrived to Hawaii with only 4 strings, and nobody knows the tune of the 5th string. Maybe, so they don't
Or
use.
maybe they went with the 5 strings and one string broke along the
Yeah,
way.
maybe.
Yeah.
Because here in Madeira, in old times, we use many times only for the first 4 strings in rajão. Some I see near my neighborhood. Some musicians do this like this. Look. They do this. put off, and play like this. With the string off and only this. I don't know why. Maybe it's more difficult to make the chords. Maybe.
But the instruments themselves that you're holding are specifically Madeiran, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because some people I think might, as I did, think that these were from mainland Portugal at one time and made their way here.
No.
But they were. Maybe you can share a little bit about that.
Yeah. In Portugal mainland, they have they don't have the rajão. Now, maybe it was they used to play the rajão as a similar instrument because we know in Spain there are a similar guitar to this one with the same tuning, same size in Spain. But in Portugal mainland, we have lost that instrument. I think it's our theory. So they have the cavaquinho, Portuguese, the Portuguese cavaquinho. It's a different tuning, different technique that they used to apply to the instrument. They also many people just play. So now they are starting to recover a different technique.
Picking.
Picking. I think.
Picking. Like
So because we have a repertoire that requires that kind of technique. So or with the thumb or with the four strings, just like the classical guitar. So in the Portugal mainland, so they have the cavaquinho, and also another one that it's not here with us today. It's a viola d'arame. It's a double strings. In Funchal in the 19th century there was a very strong tradition of machete, very good players and composers also. So in Funchal there was a musical culture, European musical culture. So they wrote and transcribed many waltzes. Waltz, quadrilla, polka, march. So the music that was very in vogue in all Europe. So this is a waltz written for the well-known 19th century machete player Cândido Drummond de Vasconcelos. We think it was the most important one. One of the greatest project, educational project, started around 45 years ago, and that included teaching Braguinha to the young children, you know, since the first
the primary school.
degree in the primary school. So for many years, the government has invested in the new teachers, preparing the teachers to how to teach this instrument in schools all around the island, Madeira and Porto Santo. So that was a huge investment. That now we can say that it's for a future that it won't be a problem to lose
So that
this
investment,
tradition.
it's paying off.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's people are grasping on. To
Yeah, there are more constructors, more builders, more luthiers, more players, more good players, and more compositions,
more editions.
more books with music for this instrument, more investigation. So we are growing up. I used to say that this is a new renaissance for this instrument. Yeah,
That's exciting,
For
yeah.
many years, 100 years, people in Madeira only played folk country music. You know, very.
Basic melodies, and the chords and chords.
2-3 chords, so not so developed music. So that was great for not losing this traditional, this country traditionals. But there's more than that for this instrument. So that's what we are doing now. Well, it's a brand new world for us also, and we want to open new doors for this instrument. So that's it. Xarabanda, we are losing the Xarabanda, the kind of music. So Roberto has this project to teach young children how to improvise, how to sing this kind of music. So because if we don't do that, we will lose this, just like some animal species will disappear forever.
Yes.
Our wish is to make more, to disinvolve others, and have more performers in Xarabanda, in Bailinho, in
so we don't
cordophons.
lose some identity. You know, that's our huge role, not to lose this identity.
Já chegou à minha mão, já chegou à minha mão, e agora canto umas três, e agora canto umas três. E vá-se vir para o Santa Amaro, vá-se vir para o Santa Amaro, para os reis vem-se outra vez, para os reis vem-se outra vez.
Well, it's the name of a tree, the tree that gives a fruit, tropical fruit, pitanga, you know, pitanga, the fruit. So the tree, the pitangueira. So this tune it's called pitangueira.
machetinho. This is machete, and this is machetinho.
Mini machete.
Machetinho is a diminutive from machete. Machete, more small. And we have some of them here in Madeira, and we know some of them it's sold for out of Madeira. We don't know for playing or for a collection, but one collector.
Yep.
One collector here in Madeira have three
From the 19th century.
From the 19th century. Maybe the musicians from 19th century play, because we can play some song here. For example, a traditional song like we think the Madeiran people when arrived to Hawaii play in the
The arbor.
harbor, in the harbor, maybe
To show the happiness of
the happiness
arriving.
to arrive after 3 months, or something like this, maybe.
He got fleas.
It's a bilingual, other kind of other genre of Madeiran music.
Okay, we are concluding our segment here with Roberto here in Madeira. So I hope you guys learned a little bit more about the history of this great instrument of the ukulele and its founding instruments. And check back next time on what we have in store for you. We got some more videos coming to you from Madeira. And until next time, we say aloha, cheers, and Happy New Year.
See you. Hawaiian. Ai, vou cantar uma cantiga que só dura um segundo, para desejar um bom ano, para o Havaí e para o mundo, para o Havaí e para o mundo.
Okay, you ukulele enthusiast, you made it to the very end. Thank you so much for watching, and do me a favor right now, please, drop me a comment. All you have to do is just write the word done. That tells me that you finished, you got all the way through this wonderful video, because I want to personally thank you for taking the time out of your day, your evening, to watch this content that we put together for you. Thank you again, obrigado, mahalo. We'll see you next time.